Welcome once again, children of the popcorn, to Evil Popcorn Podcast. I am the Baron. I am coming to you from the Baron's dungeon, and we are doing another New Zealand film tonight, today, this morning, wherever you are. And who have I got here?
From Sinister Studio. It's Mr. Popcorn. Yes, another movie from my homeland. Not to sound too overmat. Yeah, this is an important one. This is a defining one for a lot of reasons, on many different. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Yeah, I've got opinions. And 16-year-old Scott has opinions that are different to current the Baron, which we will cover, no doubt. So the movie we are doing today is Bad Taste, which is Peter Jackson's first work, I suppose, first feature.
First feature. That is the movie poster there, Baron. This is the attitude of the film.
It really is. Yes. So yes, that video case used to look out at me all the time when I worked at the video shop in Ballina. I did watch it a number of times at Saturday night video fests that we would have with friends after playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Excellent.
So we are taking the children back to the year 1987. Thankfully, when this came out, I was in New South Wales. You were 10. I was 16.
Okay.
So, yeah, thankfully I was in New South Wales because this film was banned in Queensland.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I believe it was quite heavily edited in Australia regardless. So the version that I have now seen is a longer version with more gore in it than the version I saw originally back in the day.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I saw this sometime in my early 20s, when I basically discovered cinema. I'm a Kiwi, if you don't know. I'm from New Zealand, children of popcorn. And we had this wonderful store, which started off being called Alice in Videoland, but through localization, it just became Alice. And it had everything. Well, not quite everything, not all the big blockbusters, but in terms of independent, cult, foreign, etc., people have gone to London, to the video stores there, and says there's nothing like Alice Videoland. And it's back after the earthquakes of the early 2010s as well. Yeah. And there's also a Lumiere cinema attached to it as well. So excellent work. Excellent work, my people. Great to see. And one day, yes, I'll be sitting in the cinema there, Nick, with you, with the popcorn. Absolutely. Yeah. And I saw this in the early 20s, and I didn't know anything about the edited history. Sorry, the edited history.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Edited history. Yeah.
Well, the banning of this particular already cut version of Bad Taste, it was 3 weeks into its run. They banned it. It was already cut down by the censors. It led to the firing and dissolution of the Queensland Film Board in 1990. There was some controversy about how this was banned. And so the Queensland Film Board of Review was dissolved in 1990.
Okay.
This was then trimmed for home video release because they found the gore too excessive. When it was released Australia-wide, it had the words banned in Queensland on the cover.
Wow.
And we get an uncut version of this in Australia till 2004.
2004. Okay. Do you know anything about the New Zealand censorship? Because I just saw the version I saw, which was basically the same as this, which is up on YouTube there, children. So we'll get to our general thoughts, but remember, go to bed first, eat your popcorn, watch the movie, then come back.
Please do. Look, so Peter Jackson is the director of this. So Peter Jackson is the writer of this. With two other.
Sorry, not to interrupt. Do you know anything about the Kiwi censorship, though?
No, I don't. I can find out though. Let's have a look.
Yeah, just curious. To contrast Aussies and Kiwis in terms of censorship as well, because I'm sure there's a bit of a gap. To put it
New Zealand censorship of Bad Taste.
And this is Lord Peter Jackson, may as well be, in New Zealand. The king of New Zealand, basically. Yeah.
All right. It doesn't doesn't mention that it's been censored in New Zealand.
It probably hasn't at all. That's my
No, it
guess.
doesn't appear to have been censored in New Zealand. I think
Fantastic.
maybe
There you go.
the New Film Board put $235,000 New Zealand into the film.
Exactly. Yeah. Is there an Australian equivalent to this film in terms of gratuity, graphicness? Yes. But also this isn't greasy rag. This rag has been rubbed around in lots of gross substances to make this film. You know what I mean?
I think at the time we're probably looking at more. Australia wasn't really the big horror video nasties. We were more about sexy video nasties, things like Alvin Purple and that sort of thing that were being censored.
Leaned into horror later on, in terms
Yeah.
of exploitation, is what you're touching. Yeah.
Yeah. If I was gonna say, I'd say Houseboat Horror or Dead End Drive-In.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Do you know the documentary about exploitation, which there's Quentin Tarantino rambling? He hosts it, basically. It's good what he says. I don't mean it like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's overly long, but yeah.
But it's a very good history. Yeah, I do recommend it if you're interested in exploitation. This isn't an exploitation film. This isn't Kiwi exploitation. No. No, it's not. It's different. But we'll get it. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good to know. Thank you. Just to clarify.
Yes. Peter Jackson, he of the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings film.
Fair. Eating. Robert eating his lunch. That's Peter Jackson.
There. He plays two roles in this, very, very different roles, basically 4 years apart. So this film took them 4 years to complete.
Okay.
So the beardy Peter Jackson that we see behind you now, that was the second lot of shooting. That was the end of the shoot. And the unbeardy Derek Peter Jackson in the film is the start of the shoot. He was much thinner, you'll note, like he's put on some weight between the two filmings. So we've also got there's some additional material written by Tony Hiles and Ken Hammond. They've worked with a bunch of Jackson stuff with Peter down through the years. This was originally a short, which had a budget of about $25,000 New Zealand, and
which is a lot in New Zealand back then.
The New Zealand Film Board put 235,000 New Zealand into it. Over the course of its theatrical run and its initial home video run, it made back $241,000 of its budget. So it didn't quite break even, but it certainly wasn't a huge.
Yeah, okay. Just on that natural pause there, I'm just going to show Peter Jackson as Derek. That's just the best picture I could pull up quickly.
Yep.
We basically unrecognizable. We'll get into it when we get there. But all I'll say for now is he really shows his acting chops.
He really does.
And I didn't realize that about Peter until this rewatch. Yeah.
Because
he does his cameos as Stanley does. Yeah, Stanley stole it for Peter.
And they both stole it from Hitchcock. So yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. The truth. Anyway, back to you, Baron.
Alrighty. So it wasn't a huge loss. It's got a rating of 6.5 on IMDb. It's got a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got 3.3 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. So it's got a nice path to, a bit higher than a path.
C plus, B minus at the most.
Yeah. My history with this is I would have watched it a number of times, as I said earlier, probably late on a Saturday night at a mate's place after we played Dungeons and Dragons. It is certainly that kind of film that we would have watched. We would have watched this. We would have Meet the Feebles, any of that sort of thing. Split Second was another one in high rotation. Highlander.
I know Highlander. Okay, and then was there a gap until now?
In watching this, I haven't watched it for a very long time.
Same,
Probably watched Meet the Feebles more in the interim. Certainly watched The Frighteners a lot more than either of them.
What about Brain Dead / Bad Taste?
Yeah.
But we'll get there. We'll get there to those. Yes. Anything else there, Baron?
So it took them 4 years to complete.
Hold on. I'll do my history, and then we'll tell the children to go to bed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, pretty much what I said for early 20s. Watched it a few times. Meet the Feebles more, but I'll go into that because I'll be hosting that one next to our little Peter Jackson trilogy. Absolutely. This is the OG Gore trilogy, just to specify things. Yeah. He's still famous for this stuff. Definitely. There's Lord of the Rings. That's a whole other debate. That's a whole other spectrum of movie. Well, but in this world, the B grade world, these are held up high by people. But there's Meet the Feebles and Brain Dead, and I've seen those more, but I'll get to my real opinions of those when we get to the episodes. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. 20 or so years later, watched it again, and different opinions, but not bad opinions. Yeah, just to not try and cast a foreshadowing, a negative tone over this, you know what I mean? At all. Just different opinions. Yeah. Did not have a bad time watching it, though. I can say that. I mean, just fascinating to watch, and also, where it's set. Yeah, I've lived there too. Yeah, I've lived in Christchurch with Heavenly Creatures, in the actual city of Canterbury, but I've lived in these places too. Yeah, yeah. Baron, you were saying about 4 years?
Oh, yeah. So they took them 4 years to film. As I said, started with a short, and then they turned it into a feature. And the alien masks that you can see sort of behind me here, and the alien prosthetics, they actually made those foam latex appliances in his parents' oven, which was then unable to be used for food.
Okay.
Because
Wow.
the foam latex process will destroy an oven. So if you're a nascent filmmaker and you're looking at doing foam,
Yeah,
foam
don't do
latex,
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And
buy a
mate.
second-hand oven and cook it outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a crazy idea. While I was kind of reacting weird, is that they turned out really well because these things are up there as one of the biggest highlights of the film. Yeah. I think they look great. I think they look great. Yeah.
They do. Little bits of animatronics they've got in there as well were really good. Children, go and watch this and come back, or you're going to get spoiled, and you can't blame us for that because we warned you.
Yeah, that works. That works. Yeah. Nice.
There is other trivia that I will give just before we chop into the plot. So the guy that plays the head of the villains, the Lord Crumb, I believe he's referred to, Doug Wren, he unfortunately passed away before they could do the ADR. They had someone come in called Peter Vere-Jones to do his.
Okay, that makes sense with what I saw on IMDb as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why Peter Vere-Jones is credited. Voice. Yeah. Okay, got you. Rest in peace.
He's worked a lot with. Rest in power.
You were great. You rest in power. Absolutely, you were great. Rest in popcorn.
Yeah, rest in popcorn. Yes, R.I.P. Rest in popcorn. That's good. Yeah. Good. But yeah, he's worked a lot with Peter. He was in Brain Dead as well, Meet the Feebles, and he did some work in The Hobbit, the voice of Lord Crumb. So yeah, but yeah, crack into this.
What about? Do we have any more cast details at all?
Oh yeah, we do. We do. Okay, so Terry Potter play. Oh, sorry. We'll start from the start. So Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson plays Derek.
Just quickly, sorry, I know this is bad timing, but there's Peter Vere-Jones there.
Yes, yeah, that's him.
That's not okay. Just wanted to be respectful there, Baron. Sorry, do you?
Yeah, no, that's all good. So obviously we've got Peter Jackson. He plays Derek, who's one of the good guys, and he plays Robert, who's one of the bad guys. And I believe there's a fight scene that they shot 4 years apart on the cliff top that was done with a little bit of special effects magic, which was kind of cool.
All right, because this is good for the podcast, and don't need to be embarrassed. Derek, it wasn't until I looked at the cast while I was watching the movie, then looked back and went, "What?"
Yeah,
I triple checked. I went to various sources.
Yeah,
and went, "Wow, yeah." So that's impressive. That is impressive. Yeah.
Looks like
check it out if you haven't. Sorry, yeah,
it's like two completely different dudes. Yeah,
absolutely.
Alrighty, so now look, none of the cast have really done anything other than Peter Jackson. We've got Terry Potter, who plays Ozzy. He also plays a third-class alien. Everyone's kind of doing double duty in this as well.
Of course.
Pete O'Hearn is playing Barry and a third-class alien. Mike Minette playing Frank and a third-class alien. Doug Wren is just playing Lord Crumb, who's the head. We've got Dean Laurie as Lord Crumb's special effects double. It's not often that you get a credit like that this high up in the credits either.
That is true. So the only people there, Baron, who actually give picture credits is Craig Smith, who plays Giles, Peter, of course, and Dean Laurie, the double or whatever you said for Lord Crumb.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone else are extras or featured extras as third-class aliens. We see them basically running around getting killed a lot.
Here's a close-up of their face. That's Dean Laurie. Yeah, Baron.
Yeah, with the masks, that Peter Jackson made in his parents' oven.
Outside. Take it outside.
Oh, he did them inside.
No, that's what I'm saying to the children. Take it outside.
Take it outside.
and
don't do it in your own oven.
Yeah.
Or look, do Tinsley transfers or do foam gelatin, which you can do in a microwave.
Oh, nowadays, yeah, absolutely. Seeing what he can do in the early 2000s, this guy. Yeah.
There are a lot of goofs and boom in shot and reflections of crew. There's too many to list. If you can avoid it, don't watch this on a modern television.
Yeah, it's good advice. It's good advice there, Baron.
Yeah, all right. And the other thing I did notice about this as well that I'll comment on up front is Peter Jackson seems to like acronyms.
He does, sure. Is there evidence in it? Yeah. Evidence. Yeah.
So yes, well let's get into
Well,
the
let's get it.
plot.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is your last opportunity to go away and watch it and come back. So we open with the New Zealand Astro Investigation and Defence Service, AIDS for short, which is Derek, Frank, Ozzy, and Barry, and they've all been sent to investigate the disappearance of everyone in the town of Kaihoro, North Island, New Zealand. Kaihoro means there's a New Zealand like Woolworths. So I think Kai is it's eat well or something.
New World? Do you mean New World?
No,
Kai is food, so yeah, that you're right with
food,
the E.
food town or something. I think it is. So it's the made
Okay.
up. It's the made up name.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's not a real place, made up name, and I believe it's named after a shopping center. So yeah. So
Hilarious.
they turn up to this fictional town, Kaihoro. They find the town has been overrun by space aliens. Now it takes us a little while to get to the aliens. We do see a lot of people in sort of normal gear, but they're all wearing what appears to be chambray shirts and jeans. So they have a uniform. No doubt it was cheap for them to buy, or it was the people's own clothes.
It's very much office drone clothing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
What you'd wear to a call center, sort of thing.
Sure.
Those shirts out. Did you think this was a bit Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, though. Nothing wrong with that.
No. And look, folks, I'm going to some real chat here. This is a film from 1987. This is a film that had zero budget.
Zero.
It's terrible, but it's great. Like,
and he did it, and he did two more after.
Yeah, and they get, in my opinion, progressively better. Like he gets geometrically better the further along in his career he goes.
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, no, you've got to go in with those eyes. Put yourself in that time place in New Zealand as well. This I've talked about the isolation of it. So the resources are not next to nothing. It's not a third world place. But imagine Australia 10 years. Yeah. That's pretty much how it works.
So Barry kills one of the aliens and then is attacked by some more. They're wielding sledgehammers. We cut to Derek. He notifies Frank and Ozzy, who are traveling on the roads towards Kaihoro, that they've definitely got aliens and that they should probably try and keep the roads clear and that sort of thing. So we got a bit of that backwards and forwards with them. He begins torturing an alien called Robert, which is also himself. So it's Derek torturing Robert, which is Sir Peter Jackson torturing Peter Jackson.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Meta.
He's hammering a bayonet into the foot of Robert. So he'd been captured earlier, and they've hung him on a cliff via a rope. But his screaming attracts the aliens to where Derek is. Derek kills those aliens, or the would-be rescuers of Robert. But then he is attacked by Robert and falls over the cliff to his presumed death. There's a lot of blood in this. There's a lot of gore. If you like that sort of thing, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah. What did you think of the gore work, the effects in general?
As a 1987 film, it's incredible. As a film I watched originally on a much smaller television at the time, it looked incredible. However, watching it on a 50-inch LED TV, you can see the edges basically.
I'm sure.
So maybe watch it on a computer monitor, folks. Maybe watch it on something a bit smaller.
Computer monitor was cool because you could still get the visceral sense of the slops, the wetness of the meat of the viscera. The sound works crazy. It's hilarious and it's cruel and it's over top. It's great. And it's down to the music as well. Because the music's so on the nose, but I also somehow I enjoyed it. I was like, this is actually quite good. I'm liking this. It's way over the top for what's happening, but somehow for what's happening is way over the top. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Whole film, you could sum it up by saying over the top. Like it is a really good way to describe this film.
Is that to its benefit? Wait and see.
Yeah. Okay. We then meet Giles, who is a charity bill collector working for a company called Bread, BREAD, which I didn't write down here what it stood for.
Okay. Now,
one of the things that I didn't get originally when I watched this back as a 16-year-old is that the bad taste wasn't about this is a bad taste movie. That was describing basically what the aliens were on Earth to do, which was to get food, to make humans part of their fast food menu. So the bad taste wasn't descriptive of the film, but it was descriptive of the story.
Yeah, precisely. Intentionally so.
Yeah. I didn't get it when I was a 16-year-old. Definitely got it when I was an adult.
And that, I'm not going to say saving grace, but it's a big grace, a substantial grace of it. Yeah.
Now, nowhere online will tell me what the BREAD stands for in bread in bad taste. It keeps coming up with recipes for bread that doesn't taste bad, which I don't appreciate.
Hey, Google, thanks.
That makes me so happy. You're most welcome.
Cool.
Not mine responding as well.
Oh no, the communicating bear in the cage.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
robots saving robots, though. It was in America somewhere. It was robots helping to rescue other robots out of like servitude.
I think I saw that.
Yeah. What were the exact
Yeah.
details? I know this is wild. It sounds wild, so I want to get it right. We'll save it to the end. Remember it at the end. Bring it up. Because that's, maybe we should do an evil robot or AI. Yeah.
Yeah, nowhere will tell me what it stood for. I mean, I could go back and watch it, I suppose, and it was on a placard, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, that's
anyway.
Cool. That's
Regardless,
cool. Yeah.
Regardless, so Giles is passing through Kaihoro. He is attacked by the freshly self-rescued Robert, who's limping throughout the film because he had a knife jammed into his foot. But this is where we see the scene behind you, where he's eating the brains of one of the other aliens with a spoon. Where did he get the spoon from? Maybe they always carry them. I don't know.
Good point.
But that was a really good scene. That eating the brains, it was good.
Yeah, definitely the sound work, and it does look still very effective.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And again, Peter as Robert. Yeah, he played a crazed simpleton zombie alien really well. Robert shouldn't be discounted in light of Derek, because Derek is one of the stars of this movie.
Oh, 100%.
One of the mnemonics, one of the memory keystones of this film is Derek. You know what I mean? It's kept it alive to help keep it alive. And the fact that it's actually Peter is crazy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that is crazy.
So Giles escapes in his car from Robert. He goes to a nearby house where he goes for help, where he is met by another alien, this one dressed as a chef for no good reason. And he captures Giles.
He has the hat. We know because he has the hat.
That's how you know he's a chef. And he's got a meat tenderizer mallet that he knocks Giles out with. Giles then wakes up later in a tub of water and is told he's about to be eaten. So no doubt it's that whole can of soup.
Let me bring up the picture now there, Baron, and I'll craftily weave it into the editing and bring up
the apple in his mouth tied in with tape.
Yeah, there we go. It's working.
So this is Giles with his sex pest mustache and the apple in his mouth in a big pot of soup. Now,
what did you think of, actually, if you can pause for a moment, because I want to talk about the Kiwis, how and Ozzy sees the Kiwis, because these guys, bogan's not the word. They're not bogans, but they're mates. They're lads. You know what I mean? Yeah. By the end, they're basically Kiwi Frank Grillos, certainly one of them. Yeah. What did you think in comparison to Aussie bogans, eshays, lads, louts, whatever you want to call them?
Chavs.
We know who we're talking about.
I thought they did a really good job.
Yeah, they did.
Put the characters nicely. The portrayal stayed the same throughout. It didn't slip, which I liked.
It's a slight exaggeration of your Kiwi motorheads, blah, blah, blah. A slight exaggeration, even though they are exaggerated characters. I'm talking just in the way they interact with each other, the sort of slang they choose to use, that sort of thing. It's only a slight exaggeration of what I've seen, certainly in these rural towns. These are the nice guys. You get the bad version of these guys as well. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah. The Kiwis watching know 100% what I'm about. Yeah.
Now, up till this point, when I saw this originally in 1987, my only touchstone with New Zealand culture was Foot Rot Flats.
I used to read it as a kid, like until 4 to 5. Their favorite. Explain what that is.
I've still got all mine. So Foot Rot Flats was a comic strip that was in Australian newspapers, and every year there'd be a new, like there would be a book of that year's strip use.
Really? Cool.
I think it ran 27 years plus a couple of like weekenders and stuff. Like it ran for a very long time, and it was basically rural New Zealand. The main characters were the dog and Wal, his owner.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is pretty much, certainly to about 8 years old, that is the type of environment I grew up. Definitely like farm on the west coast of New Zealand.
Sure.
If you're familiar, yeah. The land that time forgot. There was a KFC installed in 1988, and that's where pretty much modern progress ceased. And I had this confirmed a year or two ago from someone from there who I met here out in a bar or something. Yeah. And they went, no, still nothing. Still absolutely nothing. And so I've watched Americans watch this film as well, and they've walked out. Americans watching this film, and they're going, "Look at the scenery." And they go, "Yeah." One guy said, "Yeah, that's basically what they see when they get the front door." Fuck.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So what the New Zealand you see in this film in 1987, you'll still pretty much see in 2020.
Yeah. Look, I would agree. Having been there recently, it looked very familiar.
Yeah.
Okay, so we cut back to the dead body of Derek, or the supposedly dead body of Derek. He appears to be being feasted on by seagulls, but it's at this point that he wakes up. So he's not dead. He did fall a very long way onto some rocks, but apparently the seagulls padded his fall. But he also finds that he's got a massive hole in the back of his head and his brains are leaking out.
Well, it's kind of like a little flap.
It's like a hat. It's a
A
hat.
hatch, yeah, hatch. And when it pops open, children, he goes bonkers. He goes berserk. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking in a zombie alien fashion. It's more of an epileptic fit, a seizure.
Yeah.
And then when he pops it back in, takes a moment, then he's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, so usually a little bit of his brain will fall out, so he's got to pick it up off the ground,
Yeah.
stick it.
Yeah.
This does not constitute science, people.
No, we see a zombie alien seagull when he looks back
Yeah.
as well. And then he looks back again. There's his brain. Yeah.
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 So he uses the expedient of a hat to hold this hatch on the back of his head closed to begin with.
The belt. Yeah.
And so later he does do the belt.
The belt. Sorry. And the ludicrousness of the gore matches the humor. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I think it's still fine to watch today. I understand resolution.
Yeah. All right, so he gets back to his car. So that night, Frank, Ozzy, and Barry, they sneak into the alien's house, which I think might be the manor house from Creatures, Beautiful
Okay.
Creatures. I think it might be the same house.
Okay, that's cool. I'm not
So
sure.
they-
I couldn't confirm either way, but that is cool.
Yeah, they sneak into the alien's house and they find a room filled with bloody cardboard boxes. They grab an alien and kill it.
Well, sorry, carry on. The boxes. I got excited. Carry on.
Yeah. So then Frank puts on the uniform of the blue shirt over his, what I'm presuming it was a prop-made bulletproof vest. So it made him look quite fat because he was wearing it over the vest. And he
Sorry, Baron. Do they go back to the boxes?
They do. They do later.
They do. Okay. So he
Yeah.
infiltrates.
So they infiltrate the alien meeting, where he finds out that the residents of Kaihoro have been harvested for alien fast food, or an alien intergalactic fast food chain called Crumb's Country Delights. So Robert, behind you, vomits into a bowl, and all the aliens yum it up.
All right, this fucking scene. Carry on.
They're all passing around a giant bowl of green vomit, where they're all expected to eat some of it. They seem to find it yummy. He escapes the meeting and then tells the team members of the plan. And this is where we return. This is where they then discover what the boxes are.
Oh, yes, carry on. I'm good.
So the boxes there are all of the remaining pieces of the residents of Kaihoro.
Mm-hmm. The whole town. How many boxes are we talking, Baron?
I think it looked like about 6.
Yeah, not many. Yeah, 10
Wasn't
at the
many.
most. No.
Yeah.
And
wasn't
the
a
size of the box, you'd put your magazine's got them all. Books.
Probably a little bit bigger than a book box that you'd use for moving.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Which is referred to. And what is also referred to, I think it's past, I don't want to miss it, because when they're talking about, I forget who is being informed of the invasion, but then they say, what happens when they take over a bigger city? Christchurch, Wellington, and then Auckland. Oh, that wouldn't be so bad. That's a Kiwi joke. That is the Kiwi joke. Yeah, but in terms of the city rivalry, yeah.
I did. That actually, I got a laugh because I didn't get it when I was 16 because I didn't know that much about New Zealand. But I got a laugh out of that when I watched it just recently.
If you don't know, they're Aussies. That's the Sydney of New Zealand.
Yeah, pretty much. And look, having been to New Zealand a couple of times now, I prefer Wellington over Auckland. I didn't hate Auckland, but Wellington was a much more welcoming city.
Yeah, the culture's great. The culture's great. You've got the wind, though. Be warned if you have not been there. The wind is a thing. It is not myth. It was built into a natural wind tunnel. Yeah, that's why you have some of the worst turbulence in the world landing into this place. Yeah.
So they then sneak out and they save Giles while the aliens are asleep. So Giles,
Giles, who just kind of observes.
Yeah, he's a bit of a passenger in this.
Passenger's a good word. That's a great term.
Okay. So the next morning they try to leave, but they're attacked by the aliens. Then there's what I can only describe as the longest gun battle in movie history.
Or the gun battle. You see, this is lost me a little bit.
Yeah.
Lost me a little bit.
It was obviously them going going, here's what we can do with what we've got. Like some of the guns were replicas, some of the guns were painted.
What did you think of the guns? Yes, because I thought of you when I was watching it, when I saw the guns.
Mostly was pretty good. I really enjoyed the design on the rocket propelled grenade launcher that they made. That was a really good prop. I was a little bit distracted a couple of times when you're looking down the barrel of a gun being wielded by an alien and you could see where they hadn't quite painted out the red end of the cap gun.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what the word is. I don't really know guns, but the canisters where you put the shells into were quite noticeably hollow or not there at times. But saying that, the paintwork, the design, and that sort of thing, and the effects they bring to the battle was all good. And again, you know this going in. Yeah.
Yeah, the zero budget. They did a really good job.
Yeah.
So they're wielding AK-47 assault rifles, various other things. There's an Uzi. They're battling the 4 humans. The humans are getting away like with a lot of lucky shots and not being shot.
Stormtrooper versus James Bond.
Yeah, pretty much.
As the extent it gets to. No, Frank Grillo.
Their bulletproof saved them a lot or something.
Yeah, definitely. Who's the guy who is forced to eat the vomit? What's his name? The character's name?
So Frank.
Well, there you go. He is the Frank Grillo by the end. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking Purge 2. Yeah. Anarchy. Yes, if I'm not mistaken. By the end of it, and that's who I'm referring to, James Bond. But saying that, he somehow pulls it off.
Yeah.
It's not cringe, to use young person speak. It is not cringe. Yeah.
He needs this role, no cap.
Riz at the wazoo. I say wazoo's my own language.
So now Derek has arrived by this point and he joins in on the battle. He gets his hat shot off, which causes him, as you say, to go into a fit. He starts losing more of his brain. So this is where he takes off his belt and wraps it around his head so that it can keep the hatch on the back shut. He does stand on part of his brain in the gravel driveway, but he still sticks it back in his head.
But Derek's a gangster. I'm a Derek. Derek's don't run. I was like, what? Because I don't want to sound mean in any way, but he is a Derek. Yes,
he is a Derek. He's very much a Derek.
Yeah, that's all I'll say.
Yeah. So he wraps the belt around his head as a headband, and then he gets a chainsaw from the boot of his car. It looks very much like the chainsaw from Evil Dead. I think it might be a nod to Evil Dead.
Sure, yeah, I'll give you that. Absolutely.
And the chainsaw is responsible for my favorite kill, which is where he kills the alien through the door, through his head. Mm-hmm. Really, that was my favorite kill of the film.
Yeah, sure.
And Evil Dead was...
I'm thinking. Maybe.
1981. So yeah, it may well have been a nod to Evil Dead.
Was Evil Dead 1981? We need to do the OG, the original. Yeah, because that's not talked about enough, in my opinion, out of the entire franchise. That's probably the least that. Yeah.
Most people start with number 2 because they've got more money, but yeah. All right, so he grabs a chainsaw from the boot of his car and he heads for the alien house. The boys leave with... There's a lot of going away and coming back in this as well. The boys leave with Giles. The alien leader, Lord Crumb, and his followers transform into their true form behind me, and they follow along.
Now, when they follow along, yes, because they had protruding heads, but they also had protruding buttocks that burst through the pants of their jeans. Yeah, it's hilarious.
I think they had one good animatronic head, and I think they had...
I know what you mean.
Normal masks, like plain masks that didn't have moving parts.
Well, that makes sense. That's smart. Focus on the head so you get the impression of imprinted onto the others. Yeah,
they were all taken out of the same mold. I guarantee it. So yeah, so this is where Derek kills that alien with a chainsaw, and there's puts a bit of the alien brain inside the hatch.
Why not? Why not?
And then an alien is about to shoot Ozzy.
Oh, sorry. I'm just remembering cool little snippets. Derek's mode of transport.
Oh yeah, the weird car with the Beatles in the front of it, but him sitting high looking through the roof.
The Sergeant Pepper's Beatles, down at the bottom where you would expect Derek to sit, but no, he's elevated up top with this little hatch on top of this little blue Mr. Beanish vehicle. Has four wheels, but
I think it's a Ford Escort.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, just had to point that out because that was and there's little. I think does he crash the car?
Yes.
Yeah, and then we have Paul and John. Their facial reactions. So to speak. Yeah.
Not explained. Fine.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, it's just what Derek does. He's a Derek.
Derek's a Derek.
It's what Derek do.
Yeah, Derek's do, and they don't run, but they do drive. So yes, an alien's about to shoot Frank and Ozzy, but it is then beheaded by Derek after he bursts through the wall behind it. So this is where he kills him through the door with the chainsaw.
Yep.
Frank and Ozzy are then shocked to see him alive, but he doesn't seem to be with the good guys at this point. He's just gone mad killing things. So they run from Derek.
They do run.
This is where Ozzy then shot. He gets shot in both his legs by Lord Crumb. And this is where Frank gets the rocket launcher and fires it at Lord Crumb.
Sorry, Ozzy. No, Frank does. Sorry, my bad. Ozzy also has a personality disorder. Ozzy is also cool. He's a wild card. He's the wild.
Yeah, he's a wild card. Yeah. But yeah, we get a fun moment here where he fires it, the alien dodges, and then the rocket flies out the back of the house through the hole Derek made with the chainsaw that was shaped just like Derek with the chainsaw.
That was cool.
Yeah. Very Looney Tune.
Yeah, 100%.
But it misses. It almost hits Derek, goes out through the thing, but then it blows up a sheep in the field behind the house. There was apparently supposed to be another subplot with a sheep where it was chasing them, but it didn't make it. So that sheep was apparently that was an earned death to the sheep.
Okay. Rest in popcorn.
Yeah, rest in pieces.
Black Sheep.
Yes, which we should do.
We must do Black Sheep, yeah.
Saw that at the cinema. I really enjoyed Black Sheep.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know that it's touted for Kiwi horror. Yeah.
Actually, look, it's very much in theme with this work. So, all right, so then Derek is knocked out by the alien leader, and then the house transforms into a giant spaceship, which blasts off into space with Derek still on board.
Almost sucks Frank and Ozzy.
They almost get dragged in
into
underneath
its bowels via the astroturf.
Yeah, which we could have sworn was grass earlier.
Could have sworn. I enjoyed that moment. But they know this, children. That's the point. They know this. Yeah. This is meant to make you go.
One of the things I did write down in my notes, though, from the start of the film, I should have mentioned at the start, is Derek has a weird bag. The bag seems to hold more than its size is apparent.
Thank you. Yeah.
And he's wearing a scarf. This was around the time of the Tom Baker Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Gone out.
Yeah.
But it really felt like an homage to Doctor Who. Like it was a blue bag that was on the inside.
Sense. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's always fighting against him, taking the stuff out. Yeah. It's really shake it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So we're on board the spaceship. Derek looks out the window to see that he's leaving Earth. Lord Crumb is in his control center. He hears a strange loud noise and investigates. And now this is my second favorite kill of the film. He is killed by Derek, who ambushes him, basically the clowns through the middle of him with the chainsaw.
Yeah, he does. It is a goodie.
He proclaims into his radio phone, "I'm born again, I'm coming." Oh no, he proclaims into the alien's phone, "I'm born again, I'm coming to get you bastards." And then he puts the alien's face on, laughing maniacally as it rockets towards the alien planet where he will presumably kill the rest of the alien race with just that one chainsaw.
Now, this brings into question with the original viewing of the chainsaw, the reveal of the chainsaw. You were going Evil Dead. This is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You agree? So I'm wondering if it's a Part 1, Part 2 thing. Dumb out. Either way is cool. But yeah, that is interesting. And I just wanted to share this picture of the Lord Crumb because it is a good.
And yeah, just for the children, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was in 1986, 1 year before this came out. So no doubt it had an effect.
There you go. Cool. Thank you. Oh, that's not the end though.
No. So we go back to Earth. Frank, Ozzy, Giles, and Barry drive away into the sunset in Derek's weird car.
Yeah, Barry just he doesn't mope. He's just kind of the gentle soul of the group. Yeah, I mean, they're a government department, but we're not not a paramilitary troop, yeah, but they kind of are at the same time
Yeah.
because they've been called in by the military as a type of suicide squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
these guys have had criminal backgrounds as well. Nothing major,
Yeah.
but they kind of are doing this so they don't get in trouble for this and that.
Yeah.
That's the group.
Bit naughty.
Bit naughty, just bit naughty, naughty buggers.
But yeah, they drive off into the sunset in Derek's car that now works again.
Of course. So that is Bad Taste. Nice, Barry.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Yes, the original Peter Jackson Gore film before he became Mr. Lord of the Rings. Baron?
Yeah. So there's a couple of good reviews that I saw that I thought I'd just sort of call out. So the first one is paucity of budget, however, cannot hide boundless creativity, true filmmaking style, or gobs and gobs of in-your-face homemade gore and gruesomeness.
Gobs, yes.
Yeah. And the other one, which is probably my suggestion as well, which is probably works best when watched with an enthusiastic group and a copious amount of alcohol on standby.
Yeah, definitely. Very fun at a festival screening. People are, bit intoxicated going in or whatever, that sort of thing. This would suit perfectly.
Yeah.
But what do you think overall? Shall we rate it?
Yeah, let's get into ratings.
Well, you hosted, so you go last, yeah?
Okay.
That's cool.
Sure.
Yes, I agree entirely with boundless creativity, and there is a really cool, almost punk rock indie filmmaking spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly in New Zealand terms, I will say it. For 1987 in rural New Zealand. This is a film made in rural New Zealand as well. This isn't Mr. Wet and Digit at this stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Imagine this is done. Do you know where it was filmed? Does it say? And because it is a made up town?
Near Wellington.
Near Wellington. So maybe Lower Hutt. Yeah.
It mentioned a bay in the research that I did.
Okay. Yeah. So just that is the point. That is this is a rural film. So there's not the resources of the city or anything like that. Film schools or anything like that. And the fact that this was made and he went to pull off two others where, if you want to talk about boundless creativity and humor, and if you want to talk about developing a sense of humor, he gets more comfortable filmmaking. Yeah. I look forward to those two next sets. This one, though, is really cool. It's really fun, but the story does suffer. I'll get to this. The story does suffer. The gun battle is too much. It does meander. And I thought about it because yesterday I went to work, then went to see Heretic at the cinema, then I came home and watched this. Point being that, this needed a little bit more to the story world. Yeah. Rather than it just resulting in a pretty stereotypical gun battle at the end. Yeah. There was just something else to it. Another drop of something bigger affecting what's going on, or more of a sense of purpose rather than that's our food, let's kill them trying to eat us. Yeah, you know what I mean? It could have justified the gun battle being that long, but it doesn't. Yeah, and that's pretty much really my only gripe, really, because I had the right set of goggles on, eating the right popcorn before going in to watch this. So definitely still highly enjoyed it. So that is why I'm going to give it. It's not a 4, definitely not a 5, but it's definitely a strong 3.5 for the elements of fun and creativity, definitely. And as a Kiwi as well, a Kiwi, you are just reminded of that independent filmmaking spirit that is unique to New Zealand. Yeah, Aotearoa, Land Along White Cloud. Yeah, so 3.5, Barry.
Okay, all right. For those that are interested, this was filmed in a little place in New Zealand called Pukerua Bay, which is about 20 miles from the centre.
Yeah, okay, nice.
It's on the west coast. If you get to Otaki, you've gone too far.
Okay.
It's it's still well south of Palmerston North.
Yeah. You got a bit of a drive before you're hitting any major population.
So it's not that far from Wellington. So yeah. Okay. If I was going to grade this film based on its technical merits, even taking into account the fact that it's 1987 and its story, it's not scoring well.
Okay.
However, this was a new filmmaker with no budget in an area of the world that was not highly populated, does not have a lot of money, does not have a lot of technical expertise. And this filmmaker has gone on with each successive film to make a better and better film.
Okay.
So this was a learning ground. So if I was to give it a score based on that, I'm probably giving it a 1. However, I'm going to give it a solid 3.
Okay.
So it's over a pass simply because I got laughs out of it. I could see what they wanted to do. I could see that they put money and effort into things that maybe they shouldn't have and then pivoted away from it, hence the long gun battle. The acting chops that Peter Jackson shows playing two very different characters very differently is incredible. He's easily the best actor in this film.
Do you reckon he could have had a career as an actor if he had so chosen that path? Yeah, so do I. So do I with these two roles. Yeah. And the fact I didn't realize until now that it's actually goddamn Derek. Yeah. And I don't think I would be the only one.
Having said all of that, 16-year-old Scott gave this a 5.
I like that.
The aliens were dumb fun. The gore was off the chain. The location was great.
I'm just trying to think of
great.
young Mr. Popcorn because I saw the trilogy in pretty quick succession. That's the thing.
Okay.
That's the thing. Yeah. So I think this is actually upon talking about it, because mine, if I was going to, alter this in terms of watchability and most importantly, rewatchability, it's a 3. Yeah. But because of my appreciation of what they achieved and how they did.
Yeah. Oh, it was an achievement.
Yeah.
Really was an
I'm
achievement.
happy with my rating.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't want to shit all over a Peter Jackson film.
No, not the early ones.
No.
Yeah, especially.
We all had to learn sometime, and
Absolutely.
you could see them learning.
Yeah, definitely. Fun film school. Yeah. Way more fun than actual film school. Do it this way. That's the way you do it.
I've recently gone back and rewatched El Mariachi by Robert Rodriguez. And it's a terrible movie. It's terrible, but it's amazing.
Yeah, but he followed that up with Desperado.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, the technicality, yes, it's very, very well done.
But you can see where he learned, and you can that elevates that film. It elevates it. So same with this.
Exactly.
It's the story's very plain. The special effects aren't great, but the love that went into this shines through, and that's why it doesn't get a 1; it gets a 3.
And also, I can see why it's popular here as well. I'm talking about Brisbane, not just Australia as well, because when I posted up, people would be very responsive. Yeah, I own this on VHS. This is a classic. This is King. And it does have that kind of sense of humor, which a lot of music has here as well, in the punk/pub rock type of thing. So if you're into that sense of humor, that music, that culture, and you haven't seen this, please do. Because I think that the humor you'll appreciate even more than we did.
But it's punk rock. It really is punk rock.
Yeah. I think we'll label it that. Absolutely. Yeah, cool. So I'm going to do Meet Feebles next. Now, you want to talk about humor.
Yeah.
Big laughs, big yucks. Certainly in one scene involving a fox. That's all I'm going to say for now. Yeah.
I've got a nice trivia about that as well that we'll deal with when we do it. But I was told as part of the tour at Weta in Wellington.
How was that? What year did you do that?
2017.
Okay, that's recentish. And how was it?
Really good. Having said that, though, I think I like the Auckland Weta better than I like the Wellington Weta.
There's an Auckland Weta?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Cool. Yeah. Okay.
The thing that I really liked about the Wellington Weta, though, because I'm a button pusher. Like if there's stuff that I want to touch, my ADHD will go, I must touch that thing. And they said at the start of that tour, anyone that's likely to want to touch things, put your hand up. So I put my hand up, and they just handed me a sword that I had to carry throughout.
Oh, excellent. So well, that earns a special place in your heart, sure.
Yeah. But the sizzle for the next one, which is Brain Dead, the Wellington Weta Cave has the Sumatran rat monkey maquette from the start of Brain Dead that obviously causes all the issues.
Excellent.
So yeah.
You said the next one. Is that the next one in the trilogy? Is that how it goes? I thought Brain Dead was last.
So Bad Taste, Brain Dead. Oh no, sorry. The next one after Feebles. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. No. All good. It's amazing. Yeah. So Meet the Feebles. You have not seen it. I'm going to look and see it. Hopefully, it's just straight up on YouTube.
And this was on YouTube as well. Yeah.
Trailer. Full movie, 4K.
Ooh.
Doesn't need to be that bad.
So according to Just Watch, Meet the Feebles is available on Apple TV.
It's 4K on YouTube right here. I'm looking at it.
And 4K on YouTube. Yep.
It's as bright as those kids' cartoons, movies, TV shows now. nowadays that you see, and there's those big child's heads with the ultra colorful orange and blue, and this,
Yep.
yeah. Maybe we'll watch it on a lower resolution.
Yeah, it's
This is
probably not a
not
bad idea.
this is not how it was intended.
No.
Anything else besides Apple?
It's only saying Apple on YouTube on the
Okay.
site that I'm on. Yeah.
Okay. Heretic, can I?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Oh.
and I will do a audio only solo review for this one. I need to see it again though, which I will do because I did enjoy it. I need to see it again to cement my theory of what it was trying to do because I get the feeling, shout out Georgina, I don't disagree with you. I see where you're coming from saying that the ending lost me and that she felt they didn't know where to go. I think that they did know where to go, but it was more visual metaphor showing what had gone on in the conversation to show the states of the characters left at the end of the game, because this is a game. Yeah. Evangelical escape room sounds elaborate, but in ways that is how it works. Yeah.
Okay.
2/3 of the movie is a debate, and the debate is wonderful. Hugh Grant, more. Just stay in horror till the end, please. His performance, superb, absolutely superb. I'm not going to go into the intricacies. I'll let people discover. So yeah, I will go back and do the solo only review. But yeah, if you are interested in religion, if you're interested in philosophy, if you've ever sat at night pondering your own goddamn existence, go watch this. If you're a horror fan, 100%. If not, even because it's not gore, pretty much no violence. Doesn't need it. There's some dark moments with some dark makeup. That's about it.
Okay.
And it works because of that, in my opinion. That's all I'll say because I'm already kind of getting into it. Yeah, this is new. But before it goes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Manage your expectations. It is low key and it lingers. It's a lingering film. Yeah. A24. There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you got any shout outs or any plugs?
Just Evil Corp, Escape Manor as always. And yeah, listen to us, help us in any way you can and communicate with us.
Please.
Push all the buttons, do all the things, but write something. Language is better. Actual language. Yeah.
Well, I'll always call out Act React and Improv Queensland, IFWG Publishing, Evil Corp. Keep an eye on our socials for various things. Got a show coming up. Well, at this stage, it's 2 days away, so you're not going to hear it. But it's called Iron Improviser, which will be a lot of fun. Yeah.
How'd it go? Was it good? You were great, I heard.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, I won.
There you go.
Sure. But yeah, and look, we're doing Meet the Feebles next.
Yeah, I look forward to Meet the Feebles. At this point of time, what is the date? It's the 13th. It's Friday the 13th. Happy Friday the 13th. There as well. Watch some Friday the 13th. Yeah. Retroactively, I know. But we're just going to do this moving forward. We record when we record and we speak in the present tense. Otherwise, it gets... Yeah. I might watch the remake.
That's all right.
I know that sounds crazy, but I've watched all the others as I've talked about. Yeah, but I left out Freddy versus Jason because I've seen it many times because it's a comfort film for me. And the remake, I got through about 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, I don't know if this is for me. It's a bit Michael Bay-ish.
It is a little bit.
That style of filmmaking, irks me. But it is Friday the 13th.
Yep.
It's kind of what I should do. Yeah. So might do a reaction to that, actually. Yeah, more reactions, I think. And keep an eye out for Evil Buds. I was barren to.
Well, my thumb disappears when it goes over here.
Yeah, okay. It's just entertaining himself. I don't know if I've spoken about it before, but I want an offshoot of this to be for music under the evil umbrella, the evil universe. Yeah, more than welcome, as always, Baron. Called Evil Buds. Get it? Me and you, headphones, Evil Buds, and Kobe down in Melbourne, who was at Escape Manor. Shout out, they're keen as mustard as well. So, it's going to be metal is going to be the major leaning, but like Evil Popcorn, if you have something with a dark, shadow-laden, mournful, or interesting edge, don't bring along what's his name? Pharrell's Happy. As long as, of course, always flexible, always can be negotiated, but that's going to be Evil Buds, and it is coming true. It is coming. It will be fun. It will be reaction-based. Yeah, that's a major thing. It's a reaction channel that we'll be doing. Yeah. Thumb back. You got your fun back?
I'm easily amused.
Yes, it's Friday night. I've got the day off. I've done, the 16 hours over the 2 days to go and see the movie, the podcast. I feel you. But all of these things are not bad things. None of it's complaining.
right.
I go to an escape room. I come home. I watch a movie. Then I come home the next day and talk about the movie that I watched after working at the escape again. Yeah, you got to work, and it's not a bad way to do it. So shout out Escape and a shout out Row. There we go. That's my plug. Shout out. Any teacup because I finished.
Oh, what do you think?
Great. It's first season. I'll throw it out there. It's about a 4 out of 5. There were certain moments. Okay, the family stuff. I'm getting a little bit. Come on. Next bit. But that is few and far between. That does not weigh the series down. But spoilers. Come back. Cool. The way it's done, though, the invasion and the infestation of the humans with using psychedelic, watery colors, you would associate very different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had what were the characters' names with the young boy? There was the nemesis of the two aliens. It was the Protector and the Destroyer. You know what I mean? I forget their names. The way that was brought in, was really good. And also, I forget the actor's name. She is Elizabeth Moss's nemesis in A Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale, however that goes. And she's the female lead in this, the mum. She's the Australian, yes?
Yvonne Strahovski.
Thank you. Really good. Really, really. I love watching her be stoic and distressed at the same time. She's really good at that.
But yeah, she was also in Dexter. She was also in The Predator.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So
she's legit.
Tomorrow War.
And then the end.
I saw her ran in a princess rap battle playing Daenerys Targaryen.
Fantastic. And then the end, Baron, where we go, oh, it's The Walking Dead now.
Yeah.
For season 2. Please pick it up. Do not cancel.
I really want to pick it up for season 2.
It's James Wan. We should be safe. That man has a lot of power, a lot of money in Hollywood in general, not just in horror. Yeah. He's done Fast and Furious and Aquaman.
Yeah.
We should be good. What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. It obviously differed from the book, but I think it stood alone as its own thing nicely.
Okay. And remind me, you have read the books, yes?
Yeah. So Robert Altman wrote the book called Stinger. I think I like Teacup better as a title.
Teacup's a great title. Oh, the Storm in a Teacup.
Yeah. And like
as a harbinger.
Put the thing under the teacup and then
And the symbolism, very nice. Nice symbolism. I like symbolism a lot, and that was cool. Yeah. So definitely we both recommend Evil Popcorn recommendation. Yeah. And Australian is produced it and Australian leads the cast. There you go. Yep. Yeah. I've also been watching From. Have you ever watched From?
Haven't yet.
Yeah, I recommend it, but expectations to be managed. It's a show you can do whilst you work on other things at the computer as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's about 45 minutes an episode because there's a lot of world building, there's a lot of character development and dynamics as well that are constantly being established and re-established, due to the nature of the situation that everyone. So you don't need to be, 100% focused on it. Those times you can do other things, and that's also the kind of pace and tone that will keep you in harmony with what's going on, right? Because it's not fast paced and it's a little American. Have you seen Lost?
Yeah.
It shares, the kind of aura of that cast with, I'm not trying to be derogatory. It shares that. So that kind of creates a little bit of tension, I think, for your more dedicated horror fan. Is that fair to, you know what I mean? If I'm making sense. So that might be a little bit of a hindrance. Get past that because the mystery, the symbolism, the weird objects, the history, the timeline, the trees, and I'm only scratching the surface of the things they just sprinkle throughout. It better goddamn pay off. That said, it better goddamn pay off. The moments of mystery being revealed and more mysteries being, created, really engaging, really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been going back and rewatching Stranger Things.
How have you found it? Because 5 is on its way.
Yeah.
Reportedly.
I think it's better than I remember it.
Okay, like what? Yeah, how's 1 and 2? Are they in stark contrast to moving forward? Because 3 there was a change, not a change, but a tonal switch up.
But it's really got that E.T. meets Stephen King kind of vibe.
It does, doesn't it? When it first started, so good. Yeah. I mean, Winona Ryder, since Beetlejuice. Yeah. And then she comes back for this as the mum that you always wanted and the wife that you always wanted. And the lights, though, when she's looking at the lights, tears because of the nostalgia they were able to tap in for people like ourselves. They're a little older than us, but that was still around when we came out. You know, that was the whole spirit of that epoch, if you will. Yeah. And no, great. How do you think the last one's going to go now that they're in college, and facial hair and oiling their beards?
Don't know. I'm quietly, positively confident that it'll be good, only because of what's gone before. But I'm worried because there's been such a long gap.
That's the thing. Stranger Things is the biggest cult. I think it's that Stranger Things syndrome. Yeah.
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 I mean, it's got those elements of E.T. It's got the elements of Stand By Me. It's got elements of Carrie and Cujo and
I would say Lovecraft for kids as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got that the D&D stuff in it. The drawing those characters, like it's
got the thrash metal, heavy metal rebellion of the 80s as well. So it's got the big subculture representation, which a lot of us loved, of course. Yeah, that's why that guy's a hero to this day, the master of puppets. Yeah.
One of the
never
things
ending
that I like.
story, but then they gave everyone else a never story though as well, which was wonderful. Don't get me wrong, that was one. Yeah.
One of the stories that I liked was David Harbour, who plays Hopper, the cop, who also read Guardian in the Marvel film.
And we have a ghost. He plays the ghost.
Oh yeah. And we have a ghost. But the whole time he was on set with Stranger Things in the Russian Gulag in season 3?
Four. Yeah, that's 4.
Season 4. The whole time he's like sending pictures of the set back to the Marvel guys going, look, I know you're putting me in a Russian Gulag, so here's some photos of this one that they've built for Stranger Things. Here's some ideas for you.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
But that's the way it's done, Phil. That's highly the way it's done from the get-go. And I'm talking going back the golden age cinema classics. It was just, that idea. That's what they teach you to do in film school. Yeah. So Stranger Things, Teacup, there's some TV shows.
Yeah,
there's some TV shows.
It's a trailer tonight for something that looks kind of interesting. It's a bit more body horror-y, but a bit more mainstream, called Novocaine. And it's got Jack Quaid, who plays Wee Huey in The Boys, playing a character who does not feel pain, and his girlfriend gets abducted by bank robbers, and he has to go after them and take them out. And there's this fight scene with him and another guy in a kitchen, and there's at one point he has to retrieve his pistol from a deep fryer.
I like that.
Novocaine.
That tickles me. I'll wrap it up here with the recommendations and the watches. Paprika and Mad God, 2 films I've watched recently, and they're 2 of the best films I've ever seen, and I love it when that happens. Yeah, certainly 2 in a row. Paprika is by the director of Perfect Blue. Apologies, Dorian, I do not remember the name. Probably wouldn't pronounce it correctly. If you love Perfect Blue, I know Perfect Blue is vaulted. People say it's the best anime of all time. Watch Paprika. It's what he was trying to do in Perfect Blue, but just developed, structured so much better, layered so much more effectively. Yeah, that's the better film, in my humble opinion. Well, not so
Are we
humble.
talking the Perfect Blue from 1997 or the Perfect Blue from 2002?
97.
Okay. Let's see if I can massacre this name.
Have you seen Paprika?
No, I haven't.
Watch it, even if you're not a fan of anime. This is up there with Spirited Away, with the best Ghibli films, etc. It's cinema. It's cinema. Like Akira, it's cinema. Say it again.
Satoshi Kon.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, Satoshi Kon. Yeah, I also could have remembered it doing a bit. Yeah, and Mad God. Have you goddamn seen Mad God?
So Mad God's the claymation one, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet. But
watch it. Just watch it and get back to me.
Okay.
Made on his tabletop over 20 years.
It's got a part 3 planned.
Excellent. Good. So Mad. So.
Hang on. No, there's shorts. Sorry, there's a 3-part short.
Okay. Well, this is
2008.
So there's again. There's years.
So there's Mad God Part 1 2014, Mad God Part 2 2015, and Mad God Part 3 2018, and then Mad God, which you're talking about, 2021.
I need to see the shorts to see if it's been stitched together or they're separate entities. Artworks unto themselves. Yeah, 20 years. His wife's so goddamn happy. This thing is mind-boggling, Jules. Yeah. I need to watch it 10 more times before I can properly talk about it. 10. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. What he achieves, what is put into this film, the amount of stuff.
Yeah.
So good. So good. And I like claymation, and this, just in terms of scale, nothing has ever touched this book in history. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. If that's not a sizzle, I don't know what is. Yeah. Any last requests from the
No, we're all good.
confectionery stand, the candy store?
No, no.
Have we finished our popcorn there, Baron?
Yeah, I've definitely finished the popcorn.
And it tasted bad in a great way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was passable.
Absolutely.
Glad I had dinner
Absolutely.
before I went to the movie, but the popcorn was still fine.
We're off to the theatre next, though. We're going into the city, into Wellington, to the Great Hall, and we're going to the theatre. Really, that's been so long. The scene I want to talk about, I want to enact so much right now, but I won't. I'll save it. I'll save it.
Oh, well.
I have sung it to this day, Baron. To this day.
Fair enough. I'm not going to.
But please.
So we bring this creaky little creature to an end. So
Absolutely. Let's close the doors to the cinema for the night. Turn off the popcorn machine. They're coming, Baron. They're coming. The gimmickry is developed.
So what say you, Mr. Popcorn?
Good night, children. And miss you, New Zealand. I'll see you at some point. Baron?
Go to bed, children. Go to bed.
You'll have to eat a bowl of green vomit. Enough said.
Oh, no.
Oh, I love it when you're evil. This is me at my most evil. Do you even laugh?